Generally. Oh, yeah. That's.
Hey, everybody. Are you dark on there, or does it just look dark for us?
I'm dark all the time.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. We are here just to pretty much say thanks. We recently hit 15,000 subscribers, which completely blows us away. I don't even know how that happens. I think I always say that we do everything wrong that you're supposed to do on YouTube. We barely make a video. When we do, it's not too much scheduling or anything like that. There's no consistency. YouTube says, make sure that you post a video at a certain time, certain day, every week. We're just bad with YouTube. We really are. I would say the only thing that we do well is respond to comments. Like anytime somebody asks us a question, we try our best to answer that person. We even respond to comments that don't even ask questions. But if somebody asks a question, I do my best to always at least answer the questions. I don't get to say hi to maybe every single comment, but I do at least answer the questions. How many questions you answer?
No, I was about to say, I like how when you talk about what we do good, it's the thing that you do that is the good thing.
That's just the way it works out, I guess. I don't know.
I
guess. So we put a post out earlier this week, I think on Sunday, asked for a couple questions. If people wanted to throw us questions. Oh, we should say thank you for subscribing, by the way. That is the way that we did get up to the 15,000 subscribers. I think somebody asked us, do we get anything at 15? You don't get anything. Nothing, right? Yeah, nothing.
I know.
Nothing I know of anyway. Yeah, I don't think YouTube cares until you reach, I think it's 100,000 subscribers you have to get before YouTube will give you one of those like play buttons or something like that. Yeah, I think we're away. I don't think we'll ever get there at all, but we are a long ways away, but that's for sure. But thank you for subscribing. We do definitely enjoy the channel and chatting with everybody. Anybody that's watched us a little bit knows that our favorite thing is the live videos because we get to interact with you instantly and answer all your questions. Snippety snap. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I don't know either.
Before we get to the questions and answers part, though, we did have a couple things. We were going to do like a little update, let everybody know what's been going on with us, and maybe a couple future plans as well, even though our future plans are always up in the air.
Everybody's future is up in the air right now.
Yeah, but I thought we would try at least. So right now on Beyond the Wheel podcast, we're doing a $250 voucher giveaway for RV resorts. So Sun RV Resorts, I guess that's the important part. Sun RV Resorts are located all across the country. If you go to our Beyond the Wheel podcast website, there's something that says enter here. All we need is your email. We're not sharing your email with Sun RV Resorts. We just need some way to get in touch with you in case you win the $250. So it'll be a $250 voucher, good for any Sun RV resort across the country. And Sun RV is making it good until the end of 2021. They said, we know things are kind of crazy right now, up in the air. So we're going to give a year and a half that this voucher is good for. If you are the winner of the voucher, then Sun RV
Bell just started licking his arm.
Then we'll just put you in touch with Sun RV directly. Then it's out of our hands. Oh my. Then it's just out of I feel like I just gave birth to a dog.
Oh my gosh.
Then it will be out of our hands and it'll just be you and Sun RV, and they'll set everything up for you. They'll make the reservation of which location you want to go to and when you would like to go. So we want to thank Sun RV for providing such a cool, I was going to say gift, but I guess prize. It's a pretty cool prize. The other thing that's going on is the National Parks Foundation. Sabrina and I, through our relationship with Winnebago, National Parks Foundation, got a hold of us through Winnebago and said that they would like to do a feature on us. So, which we think is pretty cool, actually. Yeah. We like national parks. We stay at national parks when we can. In fact, my favorite location of all time is the national park in Utah, Zion National Park. We went there with John and Nadia, and it was an absolute blast. That place is like, So what they're doing is like a little Q&A, and I told them like it was a magical location for me. I've never seen that much scenery in one location. The hiking is amazing. It's just, you didn't get to see much because we were there when it was cold.
It was freezing, and they went hiking and all of that. But
Hiking every
I'm not
day.
about that 26-degree hiking life. So Belle and I hung out at the RV in the campground, and we walked around down on a lower altitude while they went off to do whatever. I was like, nope.
But if you've never been to Zion, definitely put it on your list as places to check out. Zion is cool because that campground that's right there is in walking distance to bars and restaurants and little shops. Plus, then you have all the natural beauty as well, the water and the mountains. And when we were there, it was cold. The mountains had snow on the tops of them. I took a photo there of John, and it's my favorite photo of all time. It's awesome. I don't know if you guys can hear Belle crying over here because we're not spending time with her.
She's actually just crying in front of her treat drawers.
I know.
She's doing.
She just ate. Do you want to give her a treat, or you want to listen to her cry?
I guess I can give her something.
We could let people decide. Does Belle get a treat,
So
or does
I'll
she
say
continue?
good evening to everyone. So Columbia, South Carolina, Green Springs, Florida, South Georgia, and St. Augustine.
These are very hot and humid locations.
And there's a question here. Are either of you readers? I listen to Audible.
Yeah,
a lot
I was
of
going to
Audible.
say, does that count? I guess that counts. I don't know if that's considered.
Usually I
readers.
only read like journal articles, but as far as books, it's all Audible.
And I don't read anything.
Julie said give her a treat.
All right, go ahead.
I'll be back.
Is that Sean and Julie?
Yeah.
I'm glad they're on because we're going to be mentioning them later for a question that we had, and they can keep me honest on the answer because we don't have personal experience with Harvest Host, but they do. All right, so Belle is getting a rib.
So Julie, I think we just taught her that if she whines, she gets what she wants. There you go.
All right. Now. So yeah, we were really excited the National Parks wanted to do a feature on us. We thought that was really cool. Like really, just really cool to be in the national parks. Anything with national parks, we really like them. So the other thing that we're up to is so some of you know that Sabrina has the Winnebago Vita while she's at work and then quarantining. We're using it to kind of keep our social distance. It was awesome that Winnebago provided it for us. And just this week, they asked if we would be willing to make a tour video of it. So I started writing that down. So I'm writing Sabrina's lines. I'm writing down all the camera angles that we want to take.
I started cleaning out my Amazon packages out of it.
I had no idea. It was a disaster over there. It is. You definitely could not film anything. Couldn't even walk in the door. I don't know what's going on over there. Looked like a bomb
pandemic
off.
stress. That's what's going on over there.
You've been doing a lot of Amazon shopping.
I'm gonna disclaimer it as they are consumables. Lots of consumables.
So I hope to have that video all finished up. And other people were asking us for a tour video of the Vita. And originally we were going to make one anyway. So
before I started loading it up.
And before Winnebago even asked us, we were going to make a tour video of the Vita, but we were going to put it on our channel. But Winnebago asked if we could make a video for them. So the video will actually be, I know for sure it'll be on their YouTube channel, and where else they use it, I don't know. How else they use, maybe on Facebook or something like that. I'm not really sure what Winnebago does with their videos other than YouTube. They do have a YouTube channel. You can go check out Winnebago's YouTube channel too while we're talking about them.
Belle got multiple votes for a treat.
Oh, but she only gets one. So that's a couple things that were going on. The giveaway, the national parks, and the Vita tour. Something that's coming up is we are still in Virginia. We've been in Virginia forever, but we will be moving out of Virginia in October, and we're going to Iowa, which is where Winnebago is, and we will be giving back your Vita for one thing. But we're also going to get some service work. We need a windshield replacement on our Class A. And I thought, well, we got to return to Vita. What better place than Winnebago to replace the windshield? So we're going to head up there in Iowa, I believe. And I am really looking forward to getting back on the road again. We really do very little nowadays. We're still practicing our social distancing and everything. In fact, the other day I went to Walmart to do our weekly grocery shopping. And when I got back, I was in a really good
He
mood.
was
And
chipper. He was like skipping all over the place, talking about how excited he was to go somewhere and how wonderful it was and how everybody was wearing masks. It was great. I was like, you just went to a store, but it's exciting now.
yeah,
It's little things.
Little things. So I'm going to start with the Harvest Host question because we do have Sean and Julie, or maybe just Julie, on at the time. Somebody asked us if we have ever stayed at Harvest Host and what our thoughts are on Harvest Host. So Sabrina and I personally have never stayed at a Harvest Host. We always hear amazing things about it. Sean and I actually interviewed the CEO, Joel Holland. Ooh, now I'm not 100% sure his first name. And he was super nice. And I learned a lot about Harvest Host. But the only reason why we love the idea of Harvest Host. We think it's a fantastic idea. Harvest Host is, we'll pick a farm. He does more than just farms, but where people will own property, say like a farm, a winery or something like that, and you get to stay on their property. It doesn't cost anything to stay on the property as long as you have the yearly membership. And then you get to learn maybe a little bit about that winery. The idea is that, for staying on the property, maybe you'll buy whatever that farm produces or whatever that winery might make in exchange for staying on the property. And from what I've heard from everybody is, and Sean and Joy will, if I'm staying honest, they said it's more of an experience than anything else. They don't view it as a way to save money. The owner of Harvest Host, he doesn't look at it as a way to save money either. He just believes you're doing the Harvest Host for the experience. You're getting to learn something new. If you're at a farm or winery, you get to learn about that product. You get to meet those people that own the property and operate the winery, and you get to stay there. Normally with no hookups, it's like a dry camping experience, but it just seems like it's a very cool way to go because we like going to wineries and we like RVing. So you put the two together. I mean, I think it's a cool experience. I know Sean said that when they stayed at the Harvest Host at a winery, the guy was like, opened up a room and said, drink whatever you want while you're here, or something similar to that. I just think it's kind of a neat idea. The reason we do not do Harvest Host is because most of the time we're traveling from hospital to hospital, and they just don't have wineries and farms near the hospitals.
The campgrounds are already pretty far
most
of the time.
That's true. Even getting a campground sometimes close enough to the hospital. So Sabrina normally needs to be within how far?
30 minutes if I have call. 30 minutes if I have call. And then otherwise, if I'm just doing a night shift, I don't really want to drive an hour after I haven't slept. It's just not really safe.
Yeah. So that really restricts us of where we can stay. And so like we said, sometimes it's even difficult to get a campground within those 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. So, but we both like drinking. I'm actually drinking right now. Sabrina is not drinking because she apparently had one too many last night and then woke up this morning not feeling right. And when I say one too many, she had one.
It was literally, I don't even know what happened. I'm not even sure. I might have been a little heavy-handed, but I don't know what happened. I woke up this morning and I was like, I feel like I have a hangover, but I didn't drink enough to even have a hangover, but it's been kind of rough all day.
So Sabrina is a little bit of a wine drinker, but mostly you like mixed drinks more than anything else.
That much wine, yeah.
Well, you used to. You used to do a lot of Moscatos, but now you're a little worried about the sugar and you're trying to, I don't know, lose some weight for some reason.
Yeah, you told me. You asked me. I got on the.
You could put some more weight.
No. I got on the scale the other day, and I was like, yes. And Kenny's like, oh, have you hit your goal of malnourished?
I think you're a little light.
Anyway.
When we met, you were a little heavier than you are now, and I like that weight. I thought that was a great. I don't know. I thought that was a great weight.
I appreciate it.
I'm not saying you look bad now. I'm joking about the malnourished.
I know this whole conversation is going to go downhill very quickly.
I always get myself in trouble, and then I get like comments later on. They're like, "We don't know how she puts up with you. You're always messing with her," and nothing I say is too serious.
It's not too serious. So, for example, just on a random note, the other day I did something with my hair, and Kenny was like, wow, your hair looks really good. That's the best it's looked in years.
It's true.
I was like, well, damn, what do I walk around looking like most of the time?
That doesn't mean that your hair looked terrible before this. This is just the best it's ever looked in years.
What does that mean to you?
It means today, at this moment,
no.
it's the best it's ever been. It doesn't mean that everything else was
It means
crap.
everything else was crap. And you just
that.
happened to like shower and get dressed today.
It doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that. When I put on a button-down shirt, you say, "Oh, you look really good today." I don't think, "Oh, does that mean that I look
but
bad
I don't
yesterday?"
follow it up with, "You look the best you've looked in years."
Maybe it's the follow-up. Maybe I need to stop
Would
it.
stop the sentence right there.
Yeah.
You look really good today. Or
I got to say more than that. I can't.
I know.
Just like that. But yeah, definitely check out Harvest Host. We're not affiliate with it or anything like that. We just think it's a cool idea. If you are going to use a Harvest Host or look into Harvest Host, sign up for a Harvest Host. Find somebody that is affiliated with them. Sean and Jolie Chicory's Travels. I'm almost positive they have an affiliate link or something like that. Because I think that's just a great way to support people that you like. Even we always say that, like, if you're going to buy something, try to use somebody's affiliate link on these YouTube channels. Like, it's a nice way to support the channel if you like them. Anyway, we always recommend RV Geeks. We almost always recommend RV Geeks for everything because they helped us out so much. It's okay, Belle.
it's just the door.
Because they helped us out so much.
Belle, stop.
Belle, it's okay. Because they did help us out so much when we were starting out. You know what I thought the other day, too? That was weird to me is that we've been on the road now for 3 years, over 3 years.
Why is that weird to you?
It just went fast.
Everything except for this year.
Well, everything but this year. Yeah. Maybe that's why it seems weird.
It went quite fast. 3 years.
Somebody had a question about pit bulls and campgrounds and if we have ever been turned away at a campground because of Belle.
Sometimes we feel like we should be.
Surprisingly not. But yes, Belle is wild. She barks a lot. She barks a lot. She's loud. She's hyper. She doesn't like people approaching us.
Golf carts, bikes.
Golf carts,
children,
bikes, people
anything.
running. So she has a lot of triggers that will like kind of set her off and she like snarls and barks at people. She's not vicious in any way, but she does not seem to be a very friendly dog when you see her outside either. But surprisingly enough, we have never been turned away at a campground because of her. The person did ask specifically about pit bulls, though, and I know campgrounds do have a lot of times breed restrictions. Not all of them, and I've never seen it actually enforced. We have friends that have pit bulls or pitty mix, but they look very pit bullish, and they've never had an issue. I really think it comes down to your neighbors and who else is at the campground. I don't think a campground is just going to say, no, you can't stay here just because. Unless maybe a neighbor says, hey, that person shouldn't be having that pit bull. I don't like them for whatever reason. And goes to the manager and says, I feel a sort of way about them being here with their pit bull.
Yeah, because we've even brought Belle to like a dog park before. I shouldn't probably say that word with her ears raising now, but we've brought her and we've had people at the park like, oh, that dog shouldn't be here. She's violent. She's not violent. She just doesn't want your dog coming near her.
Yes. If your dog tries to hump Belle,
you picked the wrong one.
She'll be very upset.
You picked the
She
wrong
does
one.
not want to be humped by your dog. That is why she is flipping out on your dog right now. She is not violent. If your dog didn't come up to her and try to hump her, there'd be no problem. And when that happens, I just remove Belle and be like, all right, because Belle's not going to hurt another dog. So I say what I call her all the time.
Oh yeah, don't say that.
Don't say that. That's
your video will get flagged.
Yeah, we'll get flagged. No cursing, which is the only curse word I ever say. But yeah, no cursing. So I think that answers that question pretty well.
What beer are you drinking?
Oh, so this is my favorite beer in all the world. Again, not affiliated.
All the world.
Yeah, this is my favorite. This is Devil's Backbone, which is produced right here in Virginia, and it's Devil Backbone's Vienna Lager. I like it. I like it a lot. So I like lighter beers for the most part. This is not considered a light beer. It's got like let's see what it says about it. Mild toasted with caramel notes. It's really good. If you're a beer drinker, it's good. If you're Sabrina, it's like rubbing alcohol. Apparently, she hates it. But as far as beers go, it goes pretty well. Now, our third question could become touchy, but we will talk about it.
Touchy.
But we'll talk about it anyway.
Oh,
I am white. Sabrina is black.
shocking.
We had
shocking information.
I know
guys.
this is very shocking information. Somebody asked, and it's a totally different person, not the same person, but it was worded similar. If we have ever been rejected.
You mean like the pity?
Yeah. If we have ever been rejected at a campground for being a interracial couple, or have we ever experienced any problems at a campground for being an interracial couple? And I can say, no, we have not. No campground has ever said, we don't want you staying here. In fact, almost every campground has always been really happy to see us, I guess. I mean,
yeah, everybody's been.
We've never had any issues with any owner, any employees, any people stop Sabrina non-stop to talk to her and completely ignore me all the time. She definitely does stand out at the campgrounds.
He says it's because I'm so tall.
She is almost 7
I'm like,
feet.
yeah, that's the reason.
Almost 7 feet tall. Definitely stand out. We together stand out. But that's not just at campgrounds. That's everywhere we go.
That's correct.
Every restaurant, stores. I will say people stare at us a lot everywhere we are.
Correct. I agree. And we haven't experienced anything like anybody treating us any sort of way at a campground.
We've never had a problem.
I will say that definitely I notice I'm usually the only. And I definitely
tall person?
Yeah, the only tall person. I definitely noticed that. I also noticed that after a couple days, everybody knows me in the campground. So even like when we were at the Winnebago rally, they stopped checking my ID to come in because they're not mixing me up with anybody
else. Yeah.
So,
whereas me, though, I have not a problem, but I have the opposite effect. Nobody remembers who I am. I have to show my ID everywhere I go when we're at campgrounds or anything because I look like every single other white, bald male. I mean,
it's true. I've actually seen a couple pictures online. I'm like, Kenny, what are you doing in LA or whatever the case may be?
People send us pictures all the time. They're like, was this you here? I'm like, no. I know the guy looks like me. I look like I just look like a lot of people. But yeah, so we get stares. But I mean, we get stares everywhere we go. It's not really a campground thing. I will say, though, at a campground, everybody stares at everybody at a campground.
Everybody's pretty nosy.
You pull into a campground and maybe you're the only one setting up at the time. You're the entertainment. They want to see, they know what they do? Do they know what they're doing? Do they know how to hook up this RV? They're waiting to watch you make a mistake maybe. The campgrounds are usually quiet. So when you come out of your door, you're the only one making noise for that moment and everybody turns and looks at you. I mean, me too, not just...
Yeah, and I also work out outside now that I'm afraid of going to a gym. So I'm usually the only one in the campground flailing around early in the morning outside. So they know me. They
do know you. So I think we did have another question too. Did you want to talk more about that?
I don't think so.
Did I cover everything?
Well, the thing is that it's funny because a couple years ago, we had a discussion. We had a discussion where we were going to discuss this topic in a separate pre-recorded video. And it was funny because the discussion got so heated before we started recording. Like we set up the camera, lights, everything. And we got so heated in our discussion because we had very different opinions of our experiences, which was interesting to see because we're here together. And we had very different experiences camping and in the campgrounds and how we feel and stuff like that. And it got so heated that we decided to scrap the whole idea because we're like, if we can't even do this pre-recorded.
I thought we were going to go live and talk about it.
We were at first, and then we decided to pre-record it,
yeah.
And then it just got so out of hand that we were like, all right, we're going to have to agree to disagree. We're going to have to agree to disagree on this topic, and that was the end of that. So,
yeah.
But
here
we are.
Yeah,
did it all civilized.
Yeah, we're growing. Well, some of us are. You're shrinking. I don't know what's going on over here. I'm now nourished. We had another question about our thoughts and opinions. It's funny, when I asked Sabrina this question before we started recording, I said, we have a question about our thoughts and opinions on all electric RVs, just like all electric cars, the Teslas and stuff like that. And Sabrina said, I have no thought and I have no opinion on it. Which I know you don't, because 10 years ago when we first met, we were at the Philadelphia Auto Show and Tesla had just made their first production car. It was the Roadster. And Sabrina and I were walking past the guy. It was not Elon. We were walking past the guy and said, "Hey, folks, this is the first production electric car. Do you guys have any questions about it?" And Sabrina said, "No." And he kept on walking. He's like, wait. He's like, "This is the very first production electric vehicle. You don't have a question?" And she said, "No." And she walked away.
I didn't. I didn't have any questions.
And I didn't at the time either. I wish.
Yeah, because then the next time when we were at that place in Seattle where they had like the Tesla display, you kept us in there for like 2.5 hours while it felt like 2.5 hours.
Minutes.
It felt like 2.5 hours while he interrogated the guy about the Tesla.
So I really like the idea of electric cars. Sabrina and I have owned hybrids for the last 5-6 years. We tow a hybrid even now behind our RV. So I've always liked the instant torque of the electric.
Hell, stop it, please. Stressing me out.
The campground's actually kind of busy this week. I'm not sure. It's no holidays or anything that I can think of, but it's busy this week. So
come here.
There's a lot of people going in and out of their RVs, and Belle does not like that.
She's going to the window to try to see what's up in the dark. That's not going to go well. Stop it. Relax.
But yeah, I really like the idea of an all-electric RV. I think we would probably see an all-electric RV in a van model before we see it in a Class C or Class A. Well, I should take that back. I guess we would see an all-electric model in a travel trailer probably before we see it anywhere else. Something with no propane in it, no generator, no nothing. I would imagine it would be in a travel trailer first, and then maybe a Class B.
All-electric travel trailer.
Yeah, no propane, no generator. Just all lithium, all electric. Yeah. Why are you looking at me like that?
No, because when I think of electric vehicle, I think of something that's actually
motorized.
Moving itself. Yeah. Well, motorized. That's a good word. Moving itself.
But
motorized.
But then with the travel trailer, while you drove, it could even recharge the batteries in the travel trailer as you moved along. Now, Winnebago does have a Class A all-electric vehicle with a range of about 120 miles, but it's not for... it's commercial use only, so they're using them for blood drives, mobile schools, all kinds of stuff that I can't remember now. But it's more of a commercial vehicle. And we toured it. That was pretty cool. You even got to see, what was that one all-electric vehicle that had the donut that you slid through?
The mobile CT scanner?
Yeah. That was pretty cool.
The donut that you slid through.
Winnebago has that, but that again is commercial use only. So I think it'd be great. It makes sense to me if they could get a full electric vehicle RV. You're at a campground where you plug in. Most people don't do tons of miles in a single day. So then when you arrive at the campground, then you're plugging in at the campground to recharge it. It makes a lot of sense. I think we're a little ways away from it. But I look forward to it. I guess that's my thoughts. I look forward to it.
My thoughts, I'm about to crack up because Boogeyman is saying hello, and he's got some variations of hello, and now it started with hello from the other side.
Okay.
But I don't know. Electric vehicles?
I know.
I like electric vehicles. I just don't see it being like cost effective and practical in a motorhome for like a consumer at this point. So.
Yeah, not for a long time, I guess. But that's why I said I look forward to it. You don't even look forward to it.
I gotta stay in the present. That's too far away.
But I think they were our 4 questions that we had for today. I think that's everything.
Yeah, unless anybody has any other questions while we're here.
How long would you like to wait for a question?
30 seconds.
Whoa, boy. I'll time it. But that was everything I had to talk about. I don't know if people always say, you never let Sabrina talk. Let her talk for a little bit. Go.
Well, you always catch me off guard. Like after you're talking, and then I've kind of come in and out a couple times, and then I don't really know what to say at that point. So
you have nothing to say? I
have nothing to say. We're here. We're surviving. We're trying. We're doing what everybody else is doing. Just trying to get through this. That's all. The struggle is real, and we're working on it.
All right, everybody. I guess that's it. Take care.
Oh, you have a question. How long have we known each other?
We have known each other for 11 years.
Yeah.
11 years. Man, I got that on the first try.
That's pretty good.
Impressive.
That's good.
We have a video online here on our YouTube channel of how we met. I think it is a live video, but it's kind of a funny story. Funny-ish, scary story. But I think that's everything. I did put in the description if you guys want to sign up for the $250 voucher. It is literally the only thing in the description of this video. I made it super easy. It'll take you right to the Beyond the Wheel podcast website, and you can sign up for the $250 voucher. And if there's no other questions, I guess we will see you guys later. It's going to be a little while. I know people always get mad when I say this, but it's going to be a little while before we're back for another video. So I'm going to be tied up with the video for Winnebago and the tour video for the Vita. I want to make sure I get that one right. So, anything to add?
How many days do you get to be with each other?
Not many.
It depends on what my work schedule is, but I'm actually getting ready to leave for work. So
yeah, so
I'll be gone in a couple days.
You're heading out to a different town even.
Yeah, I'll be a few hours from here.
So before pandemic, every day with the RV and everything. After pandemic, not so much because I quarantine her after her.
I'm banished usually.
So she'll do a week at a hospital, and then I give her 14 days to cool off.
On fire, apparently.
And then she's allowed back over here. But that's the great thing about having the Vitas. I mean, she's still here at the campground. She's parked literally right behind me. So you just hang out for there 14 days. I'd meet you outside and wave to you.
And then if I ever say, and there's been a couple times where I'm like, Kenny, my allergies, I have to cough. And he's like, come on, man. And he starts like running across the campground. But anyway.
You scare me.
All right, guys. Well, you guys have a good night. Thanks for joining us.
Take care, everybody. It was good talking with everybody. And we'll see you later.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.